Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Reborn 13 podcast with the Genie. And man, today do we have another jam-packed episode of truth, knowledge, and wisdom to enlighten your minds, to fill your souls with joy, with trust, with gratitude, and with faith in the future, in the world, in divinity, and in life itself. Because today we are going to be answering the all important question, which I think right now is plaguing nearly everyone's minds, or at least those who are on the search for truth themselves, as to what in the world is really going on right now on the earth, in the skies, within ourselves, and when it comes to the geopolitical, the geographical nature of the earth, of politics, of the transition that we are currently going through. And that is what this podcast today is going to be all about, because I myself have been seeking to be able to answer this question for years now, and it is the one thing which led me and motivated me to go as far into the rabbit hole as I possibly could, trying to gain information from every single source there was, including every book that was available to me, every single different ancient cultures, teachings, ideas about the world. I dove into it all, and I have been for years now. And it's only really in this past year or so have I come to be able to create a picture of certainty, because what has happened in my personal transformation and my personal journey is that I've been able to correlate all the information that I have gained and all the information that I have attained from sources with my own inner knowingness, so that I can decipher between the deception, the programming, and be able to create a clear picture myself whereby I can make sense of it all. And today, this podcast is going to be for you so that you can gain clarity and understanding yourself, whereby you can stop worrying about whether we are being destroyed here as a human race, i.e. by these dark actors which have the majority control and have done over the past thousands of years, but as to what is actually happening on the inner level, on the divine level, and how you can then come to connect with that and focus on that. Because once you get past that barrier of fear and worrying and anxiety about where we're heading, and you know it within, you will then be able to put your focus on your self-growth, on your self-development, on your emotional and mental mastery, which is absolutely key now in this process, in this time, in this ascension period, because it is that which is going to raise the collective vibration of humanity as you do so. And then you are going to benefit the entire world, and thus the entire universe as a product, because you are going to be raising the vibration of all life on this planet, and every single human who even slightly awakes to the real divinity within is a blessing for everyone else. But without further ado, we're going to get into it. Again, I'm going to try and keep this relatively short, so the information that I have prepared for you all, I am going to try and brush through it so it doesn't go on for too long. However, I'm going to try and give you a full explanation as we do, or as I do, throughout this podcast. So I'm just going to go into the flow, see where my mind and soul takes me. I have prepared a little bit when it comes to the structure of this podcast, but I'm just going to spontaneously let my words flow out. as I do with all podcasts, and I'm just going to reveal my knowledge and wisdom, like I said, that I have attained, whereby you can fill yourself up with that beautiful light within and ascend on your own journey. Okay, really quickly, what I want to do to start off is actually show you our journey for this podcast today. Now, this is a little drawing I did to prepare for this podcast, and it's just a little itinerary, a podcast journey that we're going to go through, what we're going to cover. So we are going to start off with the kind of divine timing, the sun, the earth, and planetary alignment. We're going to move on to the ascension versus destruction, scale of consciousness, duality, perception, beliefs, and good and evil, unity, enlightenment, self-understanding, acceptance, and imagination. Then going to move on to symbolism, programming, archetypes, religious dogma. We're going to kind of bring that all into how it fits into the digital age, which we're experiencing and potentially moving into with the Internet of Things, the financial system, crypto, AI, and 5G. The ability for you to transition, the detoxification, embracing change, strength, and healing, and then any recommended material I have for you all, and then also to finish off, obviously, just to conclude, and any final words. So that is our journey for today. I'm going to do my best to try and follow it, but knowing me, I'm going to go from there to there to there and then back to there, but that's just the way in which I roll. So, real quick disclaimer, as it is necessary. All views are my own. This is from my own inner discovery. So please take everything I say with a pinch of salt until you've realized it as a truth for yourself within. Raw truth does not care about your feelings. What I may say may trigger you, especially in this podcast, because some of the truth can be pretty dark in some ways with our history and how we've got here as a human race. So I don't mean to potentially elicit some fear or some emotional trauma within, but if that happens, all that is happening essentially is the truth is going into your being and it's bringing up that crap because it needs to surface to be released. So take what is beneficial for your spiritual growth and discard the rest. Remember that just because you feel like you're in your own darkness, don't think that you are not progressing, because it is through your darkness that you are able to shine your own light, and that can be sometimes the most progressive period and the most growth can happen in your darkest moments, so know that. And when it comes to speaking about the digital age and potentially the financial system and crypto, etc., there is absolutely no financial advice. Go and seek a financial advisor. Anyway, otherwise I'm going to make this podcast way too long. We are going to get into it. So we're going to start off now. Some of this, which I have prepared, I have kind of breezed over or gone over in some detail in my previous podcast. Now, if you have watched them, make sure to go and watch them. I may actually bring that up really quickly. If you are here and you haven't watched any of my previous podcasts, then I would highly, highly, highly recommend going and potentially watching every single one before you get up to this point, because it's going to provide you so much background information on what we're going to speak about today. But I have gone over some of this before, but ever since then, and with every day, I am being shown a broader spectrum of reality. So there is no harm in going over it again in a different way, a different manner. And also for those of you who want the picture fully pieced together, that's what I'm going to try and do today. So that may be the reason why you see some material, you hear some things that I've gone over before, yet we're going to go over them again, obviously, just to clarify, to piece the puzzle all together. So to start off, this is something which I wrote around about last year, and I just want to utilize it again because it's a very brief but in-depth, straight to the point understanding of what is happening on the biggest scale. So we are undergoing a global shift in consciousness which happens every 25,900 years. At this current time, our Earth is moving through a dense energy cloud charged with love emanating from the cosmic central sun. This is raising the entire collective consciousness of humanity. This is otherwise known as a great solar flash, or as it's been named. This is part of our collective movement into the age of Aquarius. This will last up to 23-24, and only the spiritually aligned and mentally prepared will make the shift. The purpose of this is to rid Mother Earth of darkness in our ascension into the 5-dimensional reality. This is part of our destiny as a collective human race moving into the golden age, completing the cycle of death and rebirth. What you are seeing now is not a catastrophe but an ascension, a purge of impurity. It is down to the individual to change or get left behind. So, as I brought up previously, as you can see here, sine wave diagram of long-term history. Now what I want you to understand, which is critical here, is that there is no Christ return in the sense of a physical Christ coming down from the heavens to be born again to be able to save humanity. No, the Christ is a signification of the Christ consciousness within, which exists within your sacred heart space. Okay, and what is happening now is the return of Christ is happening because there is a rebirth of Christ consciousness taking place on the earth, and that is the very reason you are watching this video. That is the very reason I am making this video, and that is the reason why you have that yearning for a deeper answer, because the divine timing is going into you at a deep level, at your soul level, and you are searching for that reason why you're here. You're searching for the answer to your existence, and that is essentially what we are experiencing now, and that's what this shift is. We're moving from the dense materialistic world to the kingdom of heaven, to spirit, whereby we return to harmony and love and joy and peace, and we restore the balance upon the earth. And what is happening is that the earth in the heavens, in the universe, is moving closer to the galactic center, the galactic core. So the high energy, the high frequency energy, which is now emanating from the sun, is literally rebirthing the earth, and we are thus experiencing it on an internal detoxification level. And that is exactly what is taking place here in the Christ return, moving and birthing in to the age of Aquarius. So, as you can see here, here's a nice just little illustration. Obviously it's pure illustratory purposes, but why I like this picture is because it's showing essentially the idea of that sacred blue flame merging into the earth, whereby the light again to the earth is going to be restored, it's going to be birthed anew. So how this ties in is what I'm going to bring up here, the scale of consciousness, okay? And I'm going to bring this up with it. So this is the scale of consciousness created by David Hawkins, who was a lifelong consciousness researcher and also spiritual adept and enlightenment teacher. And he created this scale through the use of a muscular test and obviously inner understanding of truth, of reality. And what I want you to grasp is that all of these new age spiritual ideas, where we use the words of densities and dimensions and moving through the densities, and like you can see here, 1D, 2D, it's all the same. It's all just a newer version of old, because everything in reality is in everything. There is nothing new. Essentially, all you are ever doing is returning to the essence of who you are. So, As you can see here, all of your lower emotions exist down here, and the numbers you see next to them are the relative power that you have within those emotional states. So the further you move up the scale of consciousness, the more expanded your consciousness becomes. And that is essentially what the birth of the Christ consciousness is, because what is Christ consciousness? It is enlightenment and beyond. Now, what you essentially want to learn to do through self-understanding, through healing, etc., is move up this scale whereby you can surrender your lower emotions and move up the scale of consciousness whereby you live within the peace, the joy and love of God, of the universe, of the high frequency energies. So you can see here on the kind of new age, new understanding, the spiritual age, the physical body, human being, spirit, essence, soul, higher self. So you can see the traits of each. So if you obviously want to pause this and read through, what these are showing you is obviously the qualities and the characteristics of each density of existence. So the further you move up the scale and you make this a natural, spontaneous way of living, whereby you don't even have to think, but you just live within the fifth density existence, this is then going to move you up that scale, or that, should I say, is what you're going to become. You're going to return to who your soul really is. And in doing so, because you are connected with the entirety of humanity through your consciousness and the earth and the universe itself, you are thus going to raise the entire collective consciousness, because you are in an integral part to the whole, and every shift that you do, everything that you do to create a higher vibration within yourself is benefiting everyone else. Now, let's keep going. Ascension versus destruction. So I love this illustration, and that's the reason why I brought it up, because it's just a great way to show you the means through which, or should I say, the polarity of ascension versus destruction. The dark actors, they want you here, they want you fearful, they want you scared. Okay, that's what all the news is about. That's what everything that's going on in the world on a political level right now is about, to make you feel scared, because that's what they want. That's the way they control your mind. Okay, here you have love, you have acceptance, you have truth, you have light. Okay, so you have two spirals which you can ride now. You can either become ultimately completely full of fear, or you can go the opposite direction and go towards the love, light and truth. Now the choice is yours. That's the freedom and blessing of life itself. The choice is always yours. So you need to choose which spiral, which path you're taking here. And to choose means to set your intention. Now, if you set your intention, that means that you need to start aligning your habits and your actions with your intention. You can't just say, yeah, I'm going to serve the universe, and then go and drown your sorrows away in alcohol. It doesn't work like that, okay? You need to be real with yourself. You need to get true to yourself, and you need to start putting in the work. So if you are going to ride this upward spiral into infinity, into the love, into the safety and trust of God, then you have to put in the work. There's no two ways about it. And essentially what you have to do is realize, one, fear is all an illusion, and two, that if somebody is trying to control you, they are scared of you. Know that. Thereby, all these structures which exist to control you, know that ultimately they are scared of you. Why? Because you are the ultimate power in the entire universe. Know that. Know that. Ascension versus destruction 2. Now, I'm not going to go through this in detail. I've just brought this up because you can gain a lot of information from this. Again, what I would say with this is don't get too caught up on all of the ideas when it comes to the entities, let's say. Focus more on the essence of what they're trying to portray, because essentially all this is our imagination pinning ideas to certain emotions and frames of mind. So don't get too caught up on the actual spiritual imaginative concepts which are here, but focus on the truth that resonates within. And if you want to go to that end of the spectrum, then by all means. But if you want to keep it relatively simple, then just go at it from a more basic view, which is just simply the scale of consciousness. Keep it simple, understanding your emotions, and just working up this scale here. Now, to keep this moving, I want to quickly bring up the Celestine Prophecy. So I'm going to quickly read through this for you so that you understand the perspective with which I'm coming from. We are discovering again that we live a deeply mysterious world full of sudden coincidences and synchronicities encounters that seem destined. As more of us awaken to this mystery, we will create a completely new world view, redefining the universe as energetic and sacred. We will discover that everything around us, all matter, consists and stems from a divine energy that we are at the beginning to see and understand. From this perspective, we can see that humans have always felt insecure and disconnected from the sacred source and have tried to take energy by dominating each other. The struggle is responsible for all human conflict. The only solution is to cultivate personal reconnection with the divine, a mystical transformation that fills us with unlimited energy and love, extends our perception of beauty and lifts us into higher self-awareness. In this awareness, we can release our own pattern of controlling and discover a specific truth, a mission we are here to share that helps evolve humanity towards this new level of reality. In pursuit of this mission, we can discover our inner intuition that shows us where to go and what to do, and if we make only the positive interpretations, brings a flow of coincidences that opens up the door to our mission to unfold. When enough of us enter this evolutionary flow, always giving energy to the higher self of everyone we meet, we build a new culture where our bodies evolve to ever higher energies of level and perception. In this way, we participate in the long journey of evolution from the Big Bang to life's ultimate goal, to energize our bodies generation by generation until we walk into heaven we can finally see. So what I want to bring up here is the key idea of duality and good versus bad. Okay, good versus evil. What you need to see, right? And I'm going to link this in actually with the digital age, because if I go off any of the comments of my previous podcast, which was the Kendra Hill Decode the Truth Behind XRP, and may I just say here that wow, thank you for all the love and support and all my new subscribers from this video and all the comments. Genuinely, I cannot appreciate you more. Thank you so much. And remember, if you are liking this video up to this point, please make sure to give the video a like, because it helps me out so much if you do. And obviously don't forget to subscribe. Looking at the analytics of this video, I think only 8% of you are subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe, because there is going to be so much more content coming our way. But getting back to it, good versus evil, the digital age. So where I want you to go now with your mindset is to understand that what is good and what is bad is purely down to you. It is your perception. Okay, there is no good and bad in the universe except that which you choose. So if you want to choose to believe that moving into this digital age, the Internet of Things, the new financial system tying in with crypto, AI and 5G is purely for the destruction of humanity and is for our downfall, and is just going to be a new system of control and enslavement and all of these things, what you're doing is you're buying into the fear. you're going exactly where they want you to go, because you are looking at the universe from a dismal angle. You need to realize that to heal, you need to understand that you are a pure loving awareness, and that love is what heals. So if you want to birth the new earth, you need to embrace this change that's happening with the digital age, with the financial system, with crypto. And you need to be able to accept it, embrace it, love it for what it is, see it for what it is, move into it with courage, and then utilize this opportunity of this wealth transfer, the greatest wealth transfer that there has potentially ever been with the crypto and the financial system. Capitalize on that opportunity, and then when you do, you go out into the world and you begin to make that change, to manifest that change in the way that you see fit. But sitting there complaining, thinking constantly that all you're seeing is destruction, is only serving the dark actors themselves, and that's where they want you to be. So connect with that inner light, embrace the digital age, embrace what is happening to you, and know that everything is divinely ordained, everything is under divine providence, and karma and justice will always be served. Know that. So this is important, because what is happening with the world right now is a lot of truthers, you could say, are getting caught up so much in the symbolism of past and the ideas that have been given to them. They are not understanding that they are ideas, that instantly they see a triangle with an eye on top and they think Illuminati. No, that's just an idea. The triangle with the eye on top has so many different meanings, but essentially the meaning is down to you, and the eye on top of the pyramids is the idea again of the ultimate consciousness. So if I bring it back to the Hawking scale, the eye at the top of the pyramid is only to symbolize the ultimate consciousness. The pyramid is the way up to the top. So you need to start going into your own perceptions, your own beliefs, start breaking them down, whereby you can be able to decipher the meaning behind the symbolism for yourself. That realize that a lot of what you see within the symbolism is programming itself, and that a lot of what we have been taught, even on the scale of our search for truth, ties in to the religious dogma that has been fed to us over these centuries, over these millennia. So it is important that you analyze your perception and your beliefs, whereby you are able to look beyond the symbolism and its meaning that has been given to you, and look into the deeper meanings of the symbolism. So, keeping it going, as you can see here, the pyramid, it's the same process. The journey up your awareness to self-mastery, this is the journey itself. This is the process which is taking place now, which ties in to the detoxification, the embracing change, having the courage and strength within to go into your trauma, to go into your darkness, and to be able to heal it through love. Now, coming back to tie this all in, I want you to understand this one concept here. If you understand that everything is energy, you can also understand that everything you think and believe and feel consists of energy. Your attitude of focus vibrates, and those vibrations affect the quantum fields that underlie, constitute and determine the outcome of physical matter. Hence, your focus actually has the power to alter the appearance of your physical circumstances. You are the entire universe. Know that. You are an electric being. Know that. You have the power of the universe in your nervous system. Know that. Okay? What I'm trying to get to here is for you to understand how divine you are and the power which you have, and that the world right now is a product of what you make of it, and that you need to realize that it is your perception which governs your reality. So you yourself have the power to choose what is happening right now on the earth, because it is your focus and your intention which determines it. Okay, so going back to the shift, the digital age, we need to embrace the change as to what is happening with the Internet of Things, with the 5G, crypto, AI, with the new financial system. Take the opportunities that are there and then go out into the world and rebirth it in the way in which we see fit, because we're all here for a divine reason, for our own mission, and we're all working together to build this puzzle piece by piece. Now, we're going to keep this going really quickly to kind of wrap this all up and bring it all together. I want you to realize that a key part of this is decalcifying your pineal gland, which is done through detoxification, through dieting, through fasting. And if you want to gain more insight on that, make sure to go and watch this video which I did, Optimization for Spirit, Mind and Body, Diet and Nutrition. But your pineal is what they have weaponized everything, whereby your pineal does not open, and it is your ability to see through the illusion. So make sure that you go into a process of detoxification to open your pineal gland, to open your so-called third eye, and actually be able to see through the veil of illusion into the truths which I'm speaking to you today. As you can see, your aura here, again, it all links in to the scale of consciousness. The higher which you vibrate, the higher bodies you are going to connect to, the more fulfilled you are going to feel in your reality, the more love and truth and light you are thus going to express, and the more power you are going to have to change. And finally here, I have just a little description of your DNA and what it is, because I would highly recommend you going away and realizing the sacred nature and divinity and the basis of what all life is formed, which is your DNA, and know that there is a war on your DNA going on right now, and that your entire awakening process is to heal, is to activate dormant strands, connecting with your higher nature, which is going to instill the light and the truth and allow your DNA to repair, to develop and to evolve. But guys, I'm going to bring it to a relative end there. Obviously, I want to finish off quickly by saying, firstly, if you haven't already, make sure to head over to my Instagram and follow me on there. I am constantly giving you awakening tools, quotes, everything, knowledge, wisdom that I have found in my own personal journey for you to be able to best develop, evolve and grow yourself. So make sure that you go follow me on Instagram, maybe even do some time just looking through and reading the captions, so that you can understand how divine you truly are and how much of a blessing you are to this planet, and it is to just simply be alive. Obviously on my Instagram, I review all of the books which have had a huge, profound impact on me. So you'll find all of my books on there as well, which I highly recommend for you in your own journey. And obviously even diet tips, and obviously this is disregarding the stuff which I put on my story to help you evolve at the same time. Head over to my Twitter. My Twitter is more based upon the crypto, the digital age, the financial side of things. So if you do, or you are more interested in that, make sure to follow me over here on my Twitter. But go and follow me on all my channels. And obviously, if you are or you have enjoyed this video up to this point, make sure to head over to my channel, to subscribe, to give this video a like, comment any suggestions you may have for me down below. But because I have been blabbering on once again, I am going to bring it to an end here. I hope that this podcast has been helpful. I hope that there has been insights and truths that I have said which have resonated with you deeply, which have penetrated beyond your mind and into your soul, where you felt it within your heart space and you can actually resonate with it on a deeper level, on an intuitive level, on a spiritual level, and that you know that what we are seeing take place on the ultimate scale right now is not in any way, shape or form a destruction, but it is a destruction of old which is birthing a new. That there are so many blessings for us right now, especially to be living in this time. So you have to know that. Embrace the change that's happening within yourself. Embrace the digital change that's happening. Look beyond all of the fear, all of the programming, all of the news and propaganda that they are feeding you. Look into the essence of things and spread only love, joy and positivity, because that is what is key right now. That you don't resonate on their frequency, you resonate on your frequency of truth. That you go beyond what we have been told, you go beyond the mainstream and you go into your own truth, you go into your own heart and you listen to that intuitive guide and you create the world that you want to see. We are living through the most amazing time, and you have to come to know that within yourself, because when you do, your reality will just unfold in a multitude of ways which you can't even imagine, because it will be so incredibly beautiful. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like if you did. I'm going to be back soon with another episode. Make sure to subscribe for way more truther content to come to enlighten your souls. But I'm going to leave it there. I thank you all for making it to this point in the video. I thank you all for the support and listening to me speak. And I will be back soon.